And through processes of failures, I eventually burned out the ministry. We talked about balance. I had no balance. I was going to be Savior of the world, Savior of everything, and really had no Savior in the end. And that was sad. Extremely sad. And I'll never forget, as I'm living in a pop-up camper and trying to spend time with God to get reacquainted with Him, I said, you know, Lord, I'll do anything that you want. Even go back and pastor. That was the last thing I would ever say. Even go back and pastor. And it wasn't very long thereafter, I was driving down the road, and it wasn't an audible voice, but it was His impression that said, do you remember what you told me? And I quickly pulled over to the side of the road because I didn't want to wreck. And I sat there, and I said, yes, I remember what you told me. And he said, okay, call him now. And so I grabbed my cell phone, and I just called Steve Victor, and he said, I was just about to call you. And so being back in the ministry is exciting. To be a pastor again is amazing. It hasn't shares the difficulties, but there's nothing else. There's nothing else I'm committed to but that. And it was 2 years ago I sat there and watched Tom and Brian become ordained. And I watched and I said, I wonder if I'll ever be ordained. It's been 10 years now since I felt like I've been in ministry. And last year was Randy. And I sat right back there with the road sitting, and I just watched what was going on and said, God, if this ever happens, it'll probably be the most humbling day of my life. And it truly is the most humbling day of my life. I know God's called me in ministry a long time ago, but I just think He's worked some things out in my life that needed to be for it to happen exactly when it has. So thank you to my family that's watching via web right now. It's awesome, you know that? I almost want to pull out my phone and just look at myself. I figured that wasn't appropriate, so thank my family for those churches and church members that gave me grief, that challenged me, that encouraged me, that built me up, built my life up. We're there for us when we were down. Thank you. Thanks to my kids. Because sometimes you're gone and you don't spend the right time with them. And don't want to do that. So thanks to them. And thanks to my beautiful wife for supporting me and really being my helper. I figured if God gave us a helper, we must need help, right? So that's why I have one. And again, I want to say thank Steve, Don, and Harold who's not here for listening to God and giving me another chance.
All right.